Deuces Wild motherfuckers!
Whoa! And we're back at 'em.
Dude, Thrill, it's good to see you from backwoods, Louisiana. I am back in Lake Tahoe after an adventure at the Phoenix Open last week with Houston Street and Peter Princiano and the rest of the degenerates that I hung out with all week in AZ. Golly, I couldn't get away from them quick enough.
Now, I tell you what, we had a good show last week with Houston, and I know you guys were tipping a few back, shall we say.
So fun, man. I miss that guy. And you know what's funny is that I don't know how you are, but there's very few teammates that are still in my life that I still actually see and hang out with and spend time with. And not only did I see Houston Street, but I actually ran into Mark Mulder when I was down in Arizona as well.
Wow.
And there's this, and again, like this is good, like more of a question for you and what it's like. But when I see these guys, it's almost like I look into their eyes, and you know they look back, and we lock it in, and basically, it's like we went to fucking war together. And I don't want to make the analogies of going to war and playing baseball and everything else, because there's no similarities. I get it. But it is pretty cool to hold that special bond and knowing what we went through in the trenches and everything else. And then here we are, 15 years later now, just chumming up and still hanging and still telling stories. The number one thing I know I missed from the game is hanging out with the guys.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, that's like some of the alumni games that we have. You just revisit people and a lot of fun stories, a lot of fun times, and get a chance to rehash, some of the stuff we did on the field. And speaking of on the field, I got to give props to my man Tommy Luke, who's in the chat room tonight. A little number 12 Kelly Leak, Bad News Bears, for all of you guys who are Bad News Bears fan. My man EB picked them at one of the top of his baseball movie list, and he even thought number 12 might be Tanner, but no, Tanner was number 3. Yeah, Kelly Leak was 12. Oh, and by the way, here, let me turn around so you can see.
Chico's bail bonds, baby.
Chico's bail bonds, dude. So, Tommy Luke, tip of the cap. Nice job. EB, you're going to be getting this jersey in the mail here pretty soon.
Well, that's what I love about it. And thank you, Tommy, for buying Thrill the Schmedium. Because now.
Yeah, the Schmedium. Yeah. That's why I got buttons that are popping open right now.
Dude, you might as well own it. Take the undershirt off, rip the freaking hairy chest out, and let it eat. I see that jersey, and as soon as we pop on, we always spend a few minutes before we actually hit the go live button. But dude, I see that jersey and the nostalgia that it brings to me.
Oh yeah,
right. Like it's part sadness, part joy. Reliving all the memories. And sadness isn't the right word. I think more than anything, it's a warm feeling inside of a simpler time when we were kids and just out doing what we were doing, chasing the fucking dream and watching kick-ass movies like Bad News Bears, man.
God. Yeah, no. That was cool as hell that you brought it up, with the baseball movies and your top 11 picks. And we had a chance, a week later to bullshit about it on air. And then, all of a sudden you get the jerseys, you laugh and giggle about it. So it just plays off on one another. And by the way, while I'm thinking about this, here's a little purple, green, and gold for a little Mardi Gras. Happy Mardi Gras to all of you out there in the audience. Tommy Luke, I know you partook of it a little bit today. I avoided it like the plague. And, so happy Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday. Tomorrow starts Lent for all of you Catholic beings in the audience. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, tomorrow's Ash Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday. Got 40 days of fasting. So while everybody's fasting, I'm drinking.
Good for you, dude. So you're supposed to give something up, right?
Yeah. I don't think I should give anything up. I think I should add some stuff.
Anything worth doing is worth overdoing. Moderation's for pussies. That's what I was taught when I was a young kid.
I love
you know
it.
what you can give up, Thrill? You can give up quitting. Don't be a fucking quitter, man.
I love it. I love it. Funny stuff. So
hey, let me hit this bet online thing real quick.
Let's go. We got a bet. Come on, baby.
Show. Well, we're coming off the Super Bowl. Everyone thinks the gambling season is over. Fuck that. It's just beginning. Bet Online continues to be your number one source for all your basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. With up-to-the-minute odds, stats, and trends, you can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting contests and all the player props available. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop or your mobile devices. Head to Bet Online today to become part of the team, and remember to use the promo code BLEAV, capital B-L-E-A-V, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online. The game starts here. Done. Let's get into the show, Thrill. The Giant signed Jorge Soler.
Cuban from that island out yonder. And he has been with a bunch of different teams. You and I talked about it before we went on air. He's going to add quite a bit of pop in the middle of the lineup. Matter of fact, he had one season where he led the AL in jacks with 48. I think it was 2019. He had 30-something last year. His big thing is he is a DH. He's not necessarily proficient, shall we say, in the outfield. And that's one of the reasons why he has, I guess you want to say, switch teams around a lot.
You look at the numbers, though, Thrill, and he's a career 243 hitter. Obviously, that's not very impressive, but he's got a 330 on base percentage, so he does walk, a 467 slugging, so almost an 800 OPS. It's 797. He has a 113 OPS plus, so obviously 13% above league average is how that stat would read. But most importantly, last season in Miami, not a hitter's friendly park, he went ding dong Donkey Kong 36 fucking times. If that could translate to playing at Oracle Park, and if he hits 36, I can't tell you the last time a Giant hit fucking 30.
No, last time somebody hit 30 was Barry Bonds. That was his name. Nobody's hit 30 since Barry Bonds. But the one thing that I thought was really interesting is on the Giants website, it says, okay, let's project, the Giants lineup, opening day lineup. And they got J.D. Davis playing third base. And believe it or not, up until they signed Jorge Soler, they had Wilmer Flores hitting DH. Wilmer Flores, arguably their best hitter. So
yeah, he's legit.
You got to find a place in the lineup for Wilmer Flores. He's a solid, what we call in the business, a professional hitter. And he and Soler are probably going to switch out a little bit, maybe DHing. But then I'm thinking that Wilmer's going to find the field a lot more too.
So Soler's defensive WAR every single season has been minus.
Is it negative?
Every single season.
That's not good.
10 years.
That's not good. But, to be totally honest, I mean, I think that they're not paying him for that. They're paying him for, to bop the ball out the ballpark. So, put him in DH and let him do his thing.
All right. Well, let me ask you this question, because the deal reportedly is worth like $11 million a year. I know there was a signing bonus
Yeah,
involved.
he's got it. It's $42 million deal, but he's got a $9 million signing bonus. So if you take that off, it's $33 million. It's basically 11 a year. And that's actually, believe it or not, a step down from his contract he had with the Marlins.
And that's what I'm getting at, because last year he made 15 large, proceeded to go out and produce an 853 OPS with 36 nukes. And you're telling me you hit the free agent market and you're going to take a pay cut? Something smells fishy here, Thrill.
Yeah. You and I kind of talked about this. We hinted at it. Maybe a little collusion going on, which happened back in the 80s and 90s. That's one of the reasons why, we went on strike in 94, to get everything back in line. But we keep talking about it, and we've talked about it for weeks now. Why is Blake Snell not signed? Arguably one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. Why is Cody Bellinger not signed? Arguably coming off one of his best years ever and going to be like the rebound player of the year. Why are these guys, Matt Chapman, Gold Glove third baseman that holds everything down at third base? Why are these guys not signed? There is something fishy going on. Back in my day, it was called collusion. This is one of those things where it walks like a duck, talks like a duck. It might be a freaking duck.
What can the players do about it?
Oof, that's a tough one there. I mean, because they're under contract right now. But I mean, how can you not sign some of the best players in baseball? Seriously, I mean, and I get Jorge Soler. Don't get me wrong. I mean, quality. I mean, a lot of home runs and stuff like that. But on Blake Snell's level, no. There aren't too many people on Blake Snell's level. And you mean to tell me you don't want him at the front of your pitching staff? This game's about pitching and defense. I want him at the front of my staff. So, I mean, hey, like I said, walks like a duck, talks like a duck. Might be.
Tony Clark and the Players Association have got to be looking into it. I believe Boris has at least 2 or 3, if not all 4 of those guys that are still free agents. And so that might have something to do with it. He's not going to give in. I mean, so much so that, I think he would wait as long as possible, especially with Snell and Montgomery, who are pitchers who could go throw their bullpens and get their work in on their own. A little more concerning when it comes to Bellinger and Matt Chapman. These are position players. You want them in camp. You want them facing the live pitching, getting the reps. So at some point, if I'm either one of those guys, I'm going to really start to get antsy, if not for just signing and making sure I have a job, but mainly for my future and how I'm going to do in this upcoming season. I'm not going to sacrifice fucking anything, even if it is having to hold out for dollars. I'm not interested. So if we're talking, ranges here. So let's just say, for example, Matt Chapman. We'll have some fun with him. Houston Street loved him, said, really was an advocate of the Giants potentially signing Matt Chapman. And if I'm Chapman and we're talking about a deal, let's just say it's at the $100 million range. Are we talking about waiting for an extra 10, or are we talking about waiting for an extra 50? An extra 50 is different than an extra 10.
Yeah,
right?
No, I get it. And here's another thing too. I mean, these guys now can get creative with these contracts, because guess what? You're gonna get paid. I mean, look at the money that these guys are getting. I mean, they're getting in the teens minimum, so they can get creative to where they do, if I make this many starts, it tacks on another $1 million. If I get this many at bats, tax on. I mean, they can do all kinds of stuff like that. So they can get creative with the contracts.
So they have 10 remaining free agents here. And
Fire him up. Fire him up.
yeah, that's what I'm going to do. This is an article by Jim Bowden, as a matter of fact. I really enjoy listening to him. And they're ranked 1 through 10. Obviously, number 1, the Cy Young Award winner, Blake Snell, 31 years old, 6 WAR last year, 2.25 ERA, 180 fucking innings pitched. So it's not like this guy threw 120 innings. He went 180, 234 strikeouts. And on top of all of this shit, he's coaching 12U baseball, which makes me even more attracted to him than it comes to signing him. So, I mean, he's your number 1. Jordan Montgomery, number 2. This is according to Jim Bowden, 31 years old, a 4 WAR last year. Obviously helped the Rangers tremendously down the stretch, winning that huge game against the Astros. His numbers, I like, look, he had 188 innings last year, 166 strikeouts, a 3.2 ERA. Right? Like, you can't guarantee when you have swing and miss shit like Blake Snell, and you compare that to Jordan Montgomery, they're just not in the same category. Those two.
No, I mean, hey, look, I mean, no dissing Jordan Montgomery,
No.
but you're talking about the reigning Cy Young winner, all right? And on top of that, a guy who has been in the running of the Cy Young damn near every year he's been up there. So, hey, look, you got studs and you got really good quality starting pitchers, and that's what those two gentlemen are.
Okay, number 3, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy doing backflips into my pool when he was 11, Cody Bellinger. 307, 356 on base, 525 slugging, 26 homers, 97 stakes, 20 stolen bases. I mean, he's 28. I don't know how old you were. I had my best year at 31, actually. I mean, the irony, right? So his best days most likely are still ahead of him as he settles down into just life in general. How he's still on the market is baffling to me.
Baffling. You got me.
Okay, number 4, Matt Chapman. Talked about him a lot last week with Houston Street. A 4.4 WAR. Offensively, it's not going to give you too much. 240, 330, 424, 17 homers. As OPS plus, this is kind of interesting, though, because those numbers aren't great. Obviously, his on base is pretty good. OPS plus was 108.
Nice.
Like, that's 8% above league average. And then obviously what makes him so attractive is that he is one of the best defensive third basemen to ever live.
We talked about it. We've talked about it till I'm blue in the face. You're blue in the face. Pitching and defense wins baseball games. You're always going to find a way to score a run or two. Okay? Matt Chapman is the best at his position. Boom. That's it.
Number 5, J.D. Martinez. 36 years old, a 1.9 WAR last year. Obviously, all that just coming from the offense. Slash line 271, 321. This dude slugged 572, 33 homers, a 134 OPS plus. That's 34% above league average. JD Martinez, I don't say this lightly, Phil, one of the greatest right-handed hitters of our generation.
Yeah, and I mean, he did it when he was with Baltimore. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Boston.
Detroit.
He
Detroit,
did it
Boston.
with Boston. He did it again last year, with the Dodgers. I mean, he's done it consistently.
You remember the run he had with Arizona too?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, so I mean, hey, look, I mean, that's another one of the shake your head type of thing. How do you not want a guy in the middle of the lineup that does nothing but hit homers and drive in runs? How do you not want that?
The question is this, and I can't wait to see what he signs for, because I think I would have a very difficult time making this call. JD Martinez for 3 years or Jorge Soler for 3 years.
Yeah.
That'd be a tough one, right?
Yeah, no. Unless, I mean, hey, look, that's the one thing that I'm not on the inside of. I'm not on the inside of, hey, look, this guy's going to be cheaper than that guy and stuff like that. And there are guys that we can get at a discount. And that's what you were just saying. Soler made, 15 mil last year. Now he's going to make 11 with a signing bonus to go somewhere else and have a better chance of winning. I think that's what he's looking at.
All right, number 6 on the list. This is kind of a good utility guy, Whit Merrifield, 35 years old, had a .7 WAR last year. Good team guy, 272, 318, 382, 11 homers, 67 RBIs, 26 stolen bases. He's just a platoon guy. I mean, that's exactly how I would look at him. Platoon, but also somebody you could count on that is going to go in there and play solid defense, and good team guy, good veteran.
Yeah, exactly. And, trivia quiz, he's the guy that broke Madison Bumgarner's wrist. So, hey, look, he's a jack of all trades, and there are a lot of organizations that want the super utility guy, and that's what he is.
Number 7 on this list is Mike Clevinger. I like Clevinger a lot. He's 33, 3.3 WAR last year. I mean, see, look, what makes Clevinger, really much less than, say, someone like Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah.
I mean, 3.77 ERA, veteran right-hander, obviously had some great years with Cleveland, was with the White Sox last year, and just talking about just health being the biggest thing for him.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing. When Clevinger was over there in Cleveland, oh my God, he was not a fun day at the beach. I watched guys go up to home plate and get their absolute asses handed to him. He's not, if he's dealing, he's not a fun day up at that home plate.
Number 8, Hyunjin Ryu. That is the Blue Jays left-handed pitcher. Had a 3.46 ERA last year. What really hindered him was just innings pitched. I mean, he came back from Tommy John in late August, but he impressed the rest of the way. So he could be somebody that, if you're looking for rotation help, I'd slot him in as a 4-5 guy right away.
Yeah, he might be a sleeper. All he needs to do is bump up his innings.
The number 9 guy on this list, Brandon Belt, 35 years old, with the Blue Jays last year. He actually had a 2 WAR slash line, 254, on base percentage through the fucking roof, 369, 490 slugging percentage. He led the Blue Jays with all their sluggers, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, all of them. He led them in OPS, 19 homers, OPS plus of 136. The big question is, where will he be playing?
Oh my God. What was his slash line last year? What did he hit? How many homers? How many RBIs?
Bro, 19 homers, 43 RBIs.
All right. That pretty much sums it up right there. Okay. Hey, look, you're a big guy. You play first base. You need to drive in runs. Okay. Bottom line, 43 RBIs, not cutting it.
Yeah, but look at this.
Hey, Linda's already dropped a dookie on him. So, I mean, hey, she's already dropped a dookie on him. And don't even let Josh and those guys get going in the chat room, because Josh will blow him up.
You guys are tough on Belt. I'm a Belt apologist. I think Belt's legit. Belt in Texas makes sense, whether it's with the Astros or with the Rangers. It's home for him. I gotta believe that he'd love to finish his career there. He's probably got another 1, 2, 3 years. I don't know how long he wants to continue to keep on doing this, but if he keeps hitting like he has, he's going to keep finding himself a job if he wants one. The question,
but guess what? You get the OPS and all that sort of stuff from walking. All right.
Yeah.
A big dude is supposed to hit and drive in runs. All right. I'm not paying you to go up there and be a freaking leadoff hitter and walk. All right. So, with that slash line that he had last year, okay, I would, if I was him, just giving him a bit of advice, I'd drop my price, shall we say.
Number 10 on the list, Michael Lorenzen, the guy that threw the no-hitter for the Philadelphia Phillies, was also with the Tigers. He had a 4.18 ERA, but he had a 2 WAR, which is, dude, that's a nice number. I mean, and again, I still don't know, have any idea how the fuck they come up with it, but a 2 WAR. Lorenzen was 5-7 with 3.58 and 18 starts last season for the Tigers. And he made his first All-Star team. He then was traded to the Phillies, started strongly, tossing the 14th no-hitter in club history before his season went south. He finished with a 5.51 ERA in 7 starts and 4 relief appearances for the Phillies. The Padres have been the team showing the most interest in Lorenzen as they try to replace 4 key pitchers who departed this offseason via free agency or trade. The Padres would make sense as the Cal State Fullerton guy.
Yeah. Yeah, no. He'd probably want to go back home.
I think as you get up in age, like all that matters, right? When you're
I'll tell you
young,
what, though, I haven't seen him in person. I've seen him throw on TV. He's got some nice stuff. I mean, like you said, he threw a no-hitter. So I mean, he's got sneakiness and some giddy up and go. So
okay, here's the question of the night for you, Thrill. And this comes courtesy of No Filter Network social media director Henry Markin. He specifically said, can you ask Thrill who will win a championship first? Farhan Zaidi and the San Francisco Giants, or Kyle Shanahan and the San Francisco 49ers? He's down on the Niners right now, man.
Oh my God almighty. I mean, hey, look, I mean, if you asked me that question about 4 or 5 years ago, without a shadow of a doubt, I'd have said the Giants. But I mean, we've been battling through some tough times, and at the same time, the 49ers been in the thick of it. I mean, right in the middle of it, going down to damn near the last play of the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I am employed by the San Francisco Giants, Henry, so I'm going to say them, but I'm also a realist, and I know who's hot right now.
Look, the real answer to this question, and it's not even close, as the San Francisco fucking 49ers. They have been in the NFC Championship game 4 out of the past 5 years. They've been to 2 Super Bowls. They had to face Patrick Mahomes. They took this last one into overtime. They did blow 2 double-digit leads in the Super Bowl, which is tough. It is. And so these 49er fans are hurting a little bit. I will tell you this, Thrill. It's kind of comical, but I ran into a Niner fan. This guy was in his young 20s, coming back from Mexico. And he had like a cool bag, like it was a Niner leather bag. I'm like, dude, big Niner fan, huh? He's like, yeah, man, it's a sick bag. And he's like, thanks. He goes, yeah. He goes, hopefully this year they won't break my heart again. And I'm kind of like, yo, bro, they got 5 fucking Super Bowls. What do you mean break your heart again? He goes, yeah, but I wasn't alive for any of them.
Well, look, here's the thing. All right. A mark of a great team is the fact that you're consistent every year. And like you said, I mean, 4 out of 5 years, I mean, the 49ers have done it. I mean, done it at the highest level, made it to the playoffs, made it to the Super Bowl, the whole shooting match. They just hadn't crossed the finish line yet. But if they continue with the product that they're putting on the field, it's going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen. They just ran into arguably, Mahomes, the best quarterback running right now, and he pulled a little comeback on him. But I can tell you this right now. I mean, I'm not a big, huge football dude. I don't know the X's and O's and all that sort of stuff. But I do know that guy is beating the shit out of that guy. And I can tell you one thing right now. That guy, Nick Bosa, is a freaking stud. Yeah. Dude, he was creating so much havoc up in there this past game. I was like, man, I'm a Nick Bosa fan.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, so I'm looking at the projected lineup of all 30 teams right now. I find this fascinating because I actually was also talking to Henry, and he's like, "Yeah, at what point do you and Thrill want to start doing your predictions?" I'm like, "Bro, like we're not even in spring training yet."
Yeah, I
So
mean, come on, give us a fucking break. That's like
yeah,
it's like Maria Guardado. Okay, I get tired of reading her shit on the computer because it's like, Maria, stop guessing. Wait till you get to spring training and the people come in front of you, and then you'll be able to see what the shit's going on. Or here's even better of a idea for you, Maria. You have my phone number. Call me up. I've seen all of these idiots before. There you go. Get a freaking baseball player's perspective on it. There you
all
go.
right. So here's the projected lineup right now as of the 13th day of February 2024. Number 1 in the leadoff spot, playing center field, Jung Hoo Lee. Your thoughts on Jung Hoo Lee leading off, Thrill?
Well, put it this way. He's a career 300 hitter over there in the Korean League. He's a contact hitter. He's not necessarily known for his power, even though he does have power. Those kind of guys are going to put the ball in play and put pressure on the defense. So he should be at some point at the top of the lineup. So there you go.
Hitting second and playing second base, Thairo Estrada.
Arguably, besides Wilma Flores, our best offensive player on the team and most consistent. Had a little injury last year, but he battled through it and still wound up, finishing up really good.
Hitting third and playing first base, late night Lamont Wade Jr.
Lamont Wade is shifting from the leadoff spot into the 3 spot. We talked about it before. It is arguably your best hitter hits in the 3 slot. I think Lamont Wade stepped up his game last year, not only from the power end of things, but also from the on-base percentage things. He took a lot of, really tough pitches, and I think he grew as a hitter last year, and I'm expecting him to take that next step and kind of go from improving to be an elite hitter.
Hitting fourth, and this is TBD because of the recent signing, obviously, of Jorge Soler. But currently right now hitting fourth, and his bat will be in the lineup somewhere, Wilmer Flores.
Without a shadow of a doubt, like we talked about, professional hitter, led the team in homers with 23 last year, came up with many clutch hits, great worker, and a lot of people need to look to him for inspiration because they don't work near as hard as he does.
Hitting fifth, the former Oregon State Beaver Fever, Michael Conforto, playing left field.
I have no qualms about Mike Conforto. The only thing I have about Mike Conforto is stay healthy, be on the field. If he can do that, he's going to hit.
Hitting sixth, the former New York Metropolitan big right-handed slugger, J.D. Davis, playing third base.
Playing third base, arguably our all-star last year going into the all-star break. Had a great first half, had an injury in the second half, sort of drug him down a little bit. But I'm hoping that he rebounds and gets off to that great start that he had last year.
Hitting seventh, right fielder Mike, don't call me Carl Yastrzemski.
All right, this is a guy that's got something to prove. He's had a really great year, and then he's had a few really so-so years. He needs to find his stride, get back to where he was, in his really good year, and get that production back there for the San Francisco Giants.
Hitting eighth, the backstop, a fucking savage defensively, Patrick Bailey.
Patrick Bailey Came on the scene last year, rookie year, surprised everybody. Not only from the standpoint of how great of a defensive player he was, but he got quite a few quality base hits, timely homers, the whole works. I think that he should take what he learned last year and build on it. Another thing, too, he even admitted it during FanFest that he got wore down at the end of the year. You need to put the work in during the offseason to make it through a full 162-game season. Hopefully he learned his lesson, and Patrick Bailey gets to be one of the elite catchers in the game.
And rounding out the lineup, the shortstop, Marco Luciano.
All right, here's my guy, Marco Luciano. All right, all the talent in the world. Do not even think twice about that. His big thing is stay healthy because he has had a big injury problem in his minor league career. Also, number 2, make the defensive plays. He has defensive lapses every now and then. He needs to get to the point where he is more consistent catching and throwing the baseball.
Let's get to the rotation. We'll start at the top, Logan Webb.
Stud. Love him. You know, he's a throwback. He's a sinker baller. You don't see many of those guys nowadays. Everybody wants to blow the ball by you. He uses movement and deception. He's going to make people look stupid. He's going to trust his defense behind him, which is why we have to pick up our defensive game. In talking to the new infield instructor, Matt Williams, we will pick up our defensive game, and it won't be from a lack of trying because Matt Williams will have them on the field catching ground balls.
The guy that they have slated here to be the number 2 starter really has never been a fucking starter before. Yep. Jordan Hicks.
Yep. You know, I mean, he came over in the trade and or free agent, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. But you know, he's a stud, got high velocity. He mixes a four-seamer with the sinker, so he and Logan Webb are going to be able to play off of one another. He gets a new added dimension in that he has a lot more velocity in the tank. And I'm interested to see, you know, how he fares as a starter. I mean, is he going to be able to stay in that 97, 98 range, or is all of a sudden his stuff going to drop off to 93? We're going to figure it out.
The number 3 pitcher that they have listed is a guy that's really fun to watch pitch. I'll tell you that. I'm not sure how great he's going to be when it's all said and done, but he's electric on the mound. The former De La Salle Spartan, Kyle Harrison.
Kyle Harrison, know him well. Good buddy. Talk to him a lot. You know, he's got electric stuff. He's got the 94, 95, and then when he needs it, he reaches in the tank and he gets a 97. His big question mark is off-speed stuff. If he polishes up his off-speed stuff, whether it be the slider, whether it be the changeup, whatever it might be, he is going to be able to take it to the next level. If he does not polish that stuff up and he becomes a one-dimensional pitcher, he better bring his A game every night.
The projected 4th starter for the San Francisco Giants, Keaton Winn, another young guy that you talk about a lot.
Keaton Winn, saw him a few times in the minor leagues over the last 3 years. Big, tall guy, got great stuff. Yeah, got a little bit of a mix. You know, he's another guy, needs to stay healthy. All right, he's been a little banged up. But then on top of that, polish up your act a little bit. I mean, hey, look, you got the stuff. You got the makeup. You got the pitches. Now, don't leaving stuff out over the plate. Let's work the corners.
The 5th starter, a guy that I actually did his games at Stanford, Tristan Beck.
I love Tristan. Tristan and I go way back. We go back for 3 or 4 years now. And I love Tristan to death. If there's one guy that on this staff that I want to see do real well, it's Tristan Beck. And, you know, he's got a heart of gold. He is not only a really good pitcher, but he's a great teammate. And, he's another guy. Bring your A game every day. Bring your A game. You can't afford, when you're in the starter role, you can't afford to have those lapses and a bunch of big misses. Bring your A game.
So it looks like you're going to have Alex Cobb and Robbie Ray. And I forgot about Robbie Ray, right? Like this is a former Cy Young Award winner that they have coming back from injury. They're going to start the season most likely on the injured list. So, I mean, there's a lot of heat, and they're trying to say there's heat on Jordan Hicks. I mean, fuck. There's just heat on everybody else except for Logan Webb, because Logan Webb is the only one that's proven here.
Yeah, no. I mean, in more ways than one, I mean, these guys are being thrown to the Tigers. I mean, Jordan Hicks was in the pen and, chunking velocity up there. Now he's got to pitch a little bit. And then you got, Harrison, Beck, and Wynn, who have done it in the minor leagues, but they need to up their game a little bit. It's not in the minor leagues no more. It's the major leagues. And, you can't have those lapses to where you make 4 or 5, pitches out over the plate and it costs you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So real quick, you just heard the San Francisco Giants lineup. It's Jung-Hoo Lee, Thairo Estrada, Lamont Wade Jr., Wilmer Flores, Michael Conforto, J.D. Davis, Mike Yastrzemski, Patrick Bailey, and Marco Luciano, adding Jorge Soler to that mix. And then it's Webb, Jordan Hicks, Harrison, Wynn, and Beck to start the season. The Dodgers are not only the class of the NL West, or the class of Major League Baseball. So I would like to compare that lineup to Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Max Muncy, Jason Hayward, Teoscar Hernandez, James Outman, Sarah Kidd, fucking stud. And then, of course, Gavin Lux in the 9 position. And then the rotation is Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the prized Japanese right-handed pitcher, Tyler Glasnow, Bobby Miller, James Paxton, Emmett Sheehan. I mean, dude. And didn't they just sign Clayton?
You didn't even throw a Kershaw in there.
Well, he's not on the list, but they just signed Kershaw too.
Hey, what can you say? Look, I mean, hey,
wait. You know what you can say, and it's just no filter network. You just say the Giants.
Hey, look, I mean, I hate to say it. I had a very nice tirade a few weeks ago that has now become T-shirts where effing the Dodgers and the Thrill and all that sort of stuff. So now it's even T-shirts being made. So hey, look, you know where I stand on that. Look, it has been a Giant Dodger rivalry for forever. Goes back to New York. All right. When you play baseball, and I learned this growing up the hard way because we didn't have wild card. We didn't have all that bullshit. You had to win the division. And so the head-to-head meetings within your division were paramount. They were important. And, that's why I have such a – it's not a dislike. It's a healthy respect, but I got to beat your ass of anybody in our division, and especially the Dodgers, because they've been kicking our ass for years. So guess what? Somebody step up and beat their ass. There you go.
They're gonna lose some games.
Oh hell yeah, they're gonna lose some games. They ain't gonna go 162-0. Ain't happening. But you know what? You get in a little losing streak within your division, everybody freaking shoots right by you.
Yeah. There's no one in the NL West that's going to do it. I mean, the Padres.
Hey, while we're talking about a little, I guess you want to say back in time and how everything went, I'm going to do a little promo, a little plug for the Thrill here. New Era Cap Company is coming out with retro, like spring training hats and all that sort of stuff. And they approached me as representing the Giants. So here we go. This is the New Era Cap Company. This is going to be a retro,
So badass.
adding spring training hat, and everybody's going to be able to get one. And then there's the
hold on
old
a second.
Trill chunking around over there.
Are they going to wear that hat in spring training? Are the Giants?
No, they're not going to wear that hat in spring training. It's for the fans. You guys in the chat room can buy them, no problems at all. They'll have them. They'll have them in the old. I guess you want to say dugout store. Oh, and guess what else too? Trying to work out a deal right now. It's probably going to happen. About like there's mugs that are made, and you've seen them that are hollowed out the end of baseball bats, and this one's going to have my picture on it, my signature, all that sort of stuff. So you will be able to drink your favorite beverage out of the end of a baseball bat.
Dude, check this out.
There it is. It is. It's called Dugout Mugs. That's it.
These guys at Dugout Mugs.
That's them.
When they first got going, they made this for me. And when I wrote the book, The Fuck It List, I was promoting this thing pretty big time. And these guys got behind it. They're like, hey, you mind if we make you one and send it? And they're like, yeah, let's give them a little love. These guys are the Dugout Mugs. Great dudes, man.
The Dugout Mugs, man. I've been in touch with them. All the guys that have been there. And they're doing the prototypes right now. And they're trying to hook up with the Dugout store. And believe it or not, Fanatics owns all of that crap.
Yeah.
They own all of the Dugout store merchandise and all that. So they're dealing with Fanatics right now, and hopefully you'll see the Thrill mugs in the Dugout store as well.
Well, speaking of mugs, I mean, we can't let.
That's the best ever.
Daily Hustle mugs on sale now. EricBurns.com, along with the brand new Let Them Play, a parenting and coaching guide to youth sports. It's already sold out on Amazon. They're gone. Everything that Amazon had is no longer there. So I told Tara last night, I'm like, we got to get cranking. You can still buy them right now at ericburns.com. Go there immediately, pick yourself up a mug, pick yourself up a footboard, and you know what, Thrill? Dude, we talked about this with our No Filter merch, because this hat, hold on, but wait, there's more. This hat right here, you see the gray No Filter Network hat.
Yeah.
We have the pink No Filter hat here. Within the next 2 weeks, and I'm publicly declaring this for whether it's me, Leslie, Giuseppe, Pepe, Manuele, Henry. Most importantly, it's my wife who gets all the gear made. We're going to have a No Filter Network store up and running so you guys can get the merch. Dude, last year we made some big cock Brock shirts. It was, all about Brock Purdy, and we said big, and then we had a big rooster on the back. It's pretty cool.
Hey,
so we're gonna do fun stuff.
Look, I think that's great. You know what I mean? Because Josh and Tommy and Mike, Big Mike, they've been talking about merchandise and getting some stuff that you and I wear. But it'll be great having it on there. Oh, here's a picture of the mug, so you can see it's a baseball bat, and then it's kind of, as of right now, it's got the Forever Giant logo, but we'll see what else comes of it. But no, interesting stuff, man. I love it. I'm glad.
Right.
And make sure, Tara, and I'm telling you this, all right? Make sure we have the garage attendant shirts.
Oh, so good.
Oh, that's
You're
beautiful.
Right.
It's
right.
beautiful.
The gas station.
I have the collar, and then put your air deal right here, your oil deal over there.
So, Thrill, I only got a couple more minutes here. Tara's she's taking Chloe down to Mammoth for a ski race. I got the other two kids. I'm taking them to pizza. I told them 7:00 sharp, but hey, they can wait. Anything pressing, anything you want to get off your mind before we close out? I got a pack of 1989 Donners. I just want to. I'm going to rip through the pack, and I want to give you 3 players out of here.
All right, good. Rip through the pack. In the meantime, yeah, I will be in spring training February 29th or March 1st, excuse me. March 1st through March 6th. I will be not only with the major league side, minor leaguers show up on March 4th. So I'm probably going to at least spend one day over there seeing those guys. And yeah, man, I mean, right around the corner, I mean, it cranks up. I mean, everybody should be reporting within the next week. And yeah, I mean, they're gonna start up games on February 23rd, 10 days from tonight.
Are you serious?
10 days.
I mean,
10 days from tonight, they start playing their first game. And guess what else, too? And you never heard this when you were playing. I never heard for sure when I'm not playing. But opening day, March 28th. You got to be kidding me. Really? We start up a baseball season in March?
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while now. Early. Real early. Okay. This is a past 1989 Donruss. So you're coming off of the 1988 year. And the first guy I present to you, a former Giant himself, but before he was a Giant, he was a Red Sox fucking legend. Ellis Burks.
Ellis Burks. I even saw Ellis Burks for Mike Murphy's jersey retirement. Stud all the way through. Stud. That's all you can say. I mean, did everything the right way. Just a great big leaguer.
So when I was living in New York City, and I'd run the streets every now and again and end up at Tao late night at the club, Ellis Burks, actually, his daughter would wait on us. And she was like one of the hostesses / bottle girls. She's a dime. Like, dude, she's 6 feet tall, supermodel. And everything, she comes up to me, she's like, hey, I heard you played baseball. My dad's Ellis Burks. I'm like, I just can't even tell you. Like, I had the privilege to play against Ellis Burks.
Yeah.
But I more importantly, like, that's one of the dudes I loved watching him growing up. Just a fucking stud.
Yeah, no, and then, here's another thing too. I mean, you see Ellis and you're like, man, all right, he's pretty put together, and then all of a sudden you stand next to him and go like, oh, dude, he's a big old fricker.
Yeah. All right, here's another one right here. I gotta imagine you got a couple stories about this guy. Ryne Sandberg.
Oh my God. Oh my. We've had a lot of what shall I say? Run-ins, maybe. Every time I went into second base, I tried to take him out, and there was a bunch of my like baseball cards. I know there's at least two where I'm on the ground, like I'm up underneath him, and he's falling or he's standing up or whatever. So, Hall of Famer, Mr. Cub for a very long time. He teamed up over there on the right side with Mark Grace, and then on the other side with Sean Dunston. It was a pretty formidable infield that the Cubs had running out there for a little while. And on top of that, Ryne Sandberg was a very good hitter. He would pick his spots to like look for pitches. I know it. I mean, I've never talked to him in person about it, but I know it just by watching him, because I mean, he'd swing and miss at certain pitches, and then like 2 at-bats later, you throw him the same pitch, and he was all over it. Now I was like, he was sitting on it.
And lastly here, I don't know why I picked this guy. I just have this weird, awkward feeling that you're going to have a story about him. I know nothing about him, but I got to believe he showed up in like a VW bus at Jack Murphy Stadium, and he was fucking living in it. Ed Whitson.
Oh my God, Ed Whitson! What a freaking beauty! He was a quality major league starter. He was actually a starter back in the day with the Yankees in like the Billy Martin era and all that sort of stuff. Came over to the Padres. you know, he had a big fake rug, and then he put the hat on it, and the hair would go around the hat from the fake rug. And you know, hey, look, he was old school. I mean, he was one of those ones. You know, he red ass. He'd come right at you, and you know, if you did well against him, he'd dust you, he'd drop you. I have a lot of respect for Ed Whitson, not only as a pitcher, but also the kind of person he was, because he was a red ass. He was all about winning, and I love those freaking guys.
Awesome. And then let's finish it up with this real. I connected you with Adam Viron, a.k.a. Adam Viro. We just call him Viro, of the Savannah Bananas. He's their DFE, do fucking everything. He was the guy that you needed to get linked up to for their upcoming trip to Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge. I am sporting the Savannah Bananas hat for that reason. The Savannah Bananas will be here in Baton Rouge. Matter of fact, the day after my birthday. My birthday is March 13th. They will be here the 14th, 15th, and 16th playing at LSU Tiger Stadium. And, you know, I got in touch with him. I told him, I said, look, Adam, I said, I'm hoping EB can make it. I know he's real busy that time of the year with Biscuit and all that. I said, but if he doesn't, I'll be in the dugout. I'll have my tray man with me, and then we're going to have some people in the stands having fun at the Bananas game. I know you've been trying to get me to take ABs for years. Probably not going to happen, but what we're going to do is we're going to have fun. We're going to egg the boys on, and they'll put on their show for the people of Baton Rouge that have never seen something like that before.
What about BP?
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. I'll strap it on for BP. I don't care.
Right?
Do they take BP?
Fuck yeah.
Well, shit, I'll go out there with the boys.
Yeah, come out early. That's the thing, because it's not like this big production. Just come out early. Let them.
Shit, I'll strap it. I'll strap it on with the boys and take BP. No problem. Hey, another thing too. You know, we talked about Adam. You know, here's a guy who, you know, came up and played a little ball, and then, you know, got a degree and wanted to do something different. And I think he said he became an attorney. Is that correct?
Dude, he's actually got a really good story, man.
Yeah, I mean, he became an attorney, and then he made a decent living, but then he said, this is not what I love. I love freaking baseball. And, you know, I mean, he's 48 years old, and he's managing the Bananas and having the time of his life. So, Adam, tip of the cap to you, man. That's freaking awesome that you went back to your roots, went back to baseball. And I look forward to seeing you in March, being out there with my son on the field with the Bananas.
Yeah, dude, Virus.
And the party animals, too, by the way. And the party animals.
You'll love both of them. Some of the better dudes are actually party animals. So,
believe it or not, last year they had a deal up in whatever the fuck our stadium's called now. I don't know. It's been through every fucking name possible. San Francisco. And so anyway, so I met some of the guys on the field, and then they were up on the suite level during the game. And I went up there and I spent probably 2 innings with them, had some beers. Cool group of dudes. I look forward to seeing them again this year.
Awesome, dude. All right, man. Well, until next week, so long as you're good to go. Dude, there's a couple spots I'm gonna try to link up with you guys. So Arizona's on my mind, number one. We'll talk about it off the air, but if there's a way we could do, and this, I don't want it to interrupt with anything you're doing with the Giants. If we were to do like a live show there at some point, I just think it'd be fucking amazing.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. You know, I mean, have you and I both mic'd and camered up and all that. That'd be cool as shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna strategize on that, and then you know the next thing is the Baton Rouge thing would be incredible to go to, and I'm gonna be in Houston. I think you're right about that time. So it's just the question, because we have this big tournament in Houston, but I think there's a possibility if I stayed that next week, they could run into Baton Rouge. And so we'll figure this out in the upcoming weeks, but In the meantime, fucking have a great week and looking forward to happy baseball season, I should say, actually.
Dude, right around the corner, man. I mean, you start looking at it, it's like the 13th, and like I said, I'm gonna show up March 1, and they'll already be like 7 games into it. It's like, damn.
Yeah. All right, man. Everyone in the chat room looked like we had.
Hey, chat room did great tonight, man. They started off early. Linda and Gene and all of them were in there early. Josh and Big Mike and Tommy jumped in later on, but and HDH Hunter 80, he was in there. But hey, we're gonna have to talk about it next week. I might not be able to make next week, so we'll talk about it.
All right, no big deal. We'll figure it out. But
yeah.
All right, dude. Have a fantastic week, Thrill, and for everyone else out there.
Hey, and everybody else, happy Mardi Gras, and go Bad News Bears. Ryan Leak, or whatever Leak's name was. Kelly Leak, smoking schmags and hitting dongs. For our number 3 rated movie by EB, baby.
No doubt. All right, dude. See ya!